Promises, you're listening to Sport Heaven on BBC Radio Sheffield. If you want to talk sport with us across the course of this hour, send the programme a text, a tweet or an email. We'd love to hear from you, whether you want to talk about your local football team, maybe you want to talk about the national team. We're talking about that quite a bit in the first hour of the programme. Maybe you want to talk about ice hockey. We're going to be doing that quite a bit this hour and plenty more besides. So to start with then, we are going to be chatting about the Sheffield Steelkings, the para ice hockey side of the 2023 British para ice hockey playoff champions. They beat the Cardiff Huskies 3-1. Delighted to say that player coach Jake Oakley joins me on the show now. Evening, Jake.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Frankly, not as well as you. What was it like then at the final buzzer when victory was secured? You knew you'd done it. You were the playoff champs.
Oh, it was a great feeling because we've been a little bit sort of behind the Cardiff team for the last sort of season and a half, and they're a really strong side. But it was great to come away with the 3-1 win.
So is this maybe a changing of the guard then at the top of the game, do you think?
Well, I mean, I'd certainly like to hope so, but I think, to be honest, what will happen is we've pushed them and they'll push back, and then we'll try and push them again and things like that. It's a great way that we're kind of developing each other's teams, whether we mean to or not. You know, I think a good bit of rivalry will help everybody.
Yeah, definitely. That's fantastic for any sport, isn't it? To have two teams going at it like that will pique lots of people's interest.
Exactly, that's it, and that's what we want. We want to kind of raise the standard of the sport in this country as well. And like I say, competing against the Cardiff team, that they're a very strong set of individuals, and just pleased to be able to sort of match and better them this time round. And long may it continue. But I'm sure we've got many big battles to come.
3-1 then. Tell us about the game. Was it a tight game?
Yeah, it was, but I mean, it wasn't. I suppose in some respects, because straight out of the gate, we kind of really took it to them, and within inside the first minute, we'd already rung one off the post, but it went on the wrong side of the goal, unfortunately. But it was kind of a warning shot to them straight from the off, and I think even that kind of showed them our intent, from the start. But you can never write them off. We also had another one where it was basically just sort of sat on the goal line, and we couldn't just get it just over the line, and it sat there, and the referee blew. So in one respect, it was a really tight, close game, and it could have gone either way because of some of the shots just didn't fall our way. But in another way, actually, we were unfortunate not to actually have 5 goals really, because I say it was a matter of millimetres, kind of that stopped us, a few times.
Brilliant. So tell us about some of the other Steel Kings then that you are the player coach of. Then, what are you like as a family of players?
Oh, I mean, I love it really, to be honest, and I speak for so many of the team that kind of says that we're not just a group of individuals, we are family, and people can kind of come down and sort of forget their troubles and work hard. It's a fast physical sport, it's highly skilled, but everybody is sort of pushing in the same direction, and and it doesn't matter what somebody's sort of disability, impairment, they might not even have anything, but physically and mentally, it's an amazing sport for people, and just the connection with others, it really kind of keeps people going. And I can't speak highly enough for the people we have in the club, because they're an amazing bunch, and it's great that they kind of also welcome new people in so easily as well, that they kind of appreciate what they've got, and then they want to kind of share that further and further. So I'm really proud of each and every one of them.
So you mentioned there about standards and driving standards, and hopefully, the Steel Kings more than Cardiff obviously can drive the standards within the sport. Tell us about the industry or the sport as an emerging sport, if you like. Where would you say you're at?
Well, the sport itself has been around for a long time, but recently it's really found some traction, on the world stage, and the standard just keeps getting better and better, and actually more and more countries are starting to kind of, see the benefit of starting a para ice hockey program. Even established ice hockey countries, that didn't have one before, are starting to actually see, why they should be building these programs, and that's amazing. So, when we can kind of play our part as well in this country, and our mission is not just to kind of get people playing at club level. We want to see our classifiable players going on representing Great Britain in both the male and the female game, and hopefully one day back to the top tier of the sport and Paralympic Games and things like that. So we feel really privileged here at Sheffield that we can kind of provide those opportunities for people, as long as they kind of put in the work and the dedication and kind of give it their all. So it's really great to see how much the sport is growing, and I say great to be part of that.
And do you see, almost naturally, for want of a better word, that as people know that the sport is there and accessible, and clearly you are successful, that they will think, you know what, I'd like to be involved in that in some way, whether it's playing or one of the other kind of roles that are required, that you see more and more people coming into the game?
I really do, to be honest, because I'm a big believer in success breeds success, and that doesn't always have to be on the ice. That can be off the ice. It can be kind of just, being part of the community as well, and kind of giving back, and, like I say, being a bit of a beacon to people. But because of how the Steelkings particularly kind of dresses itself, I mean, we're a non-for-profit kind of organisation, but we very much try to kind of present ourselves as a very professional team. We put on a lot of games. They're all free, our games, so people can come down and watch us. And it's, in this day and age, not much is free in life. So it's great that we can kind of give back in that way. And we're slowly seeing kind of crowds increase. And so as a result, we now have merchandise, and then the crowds buy our merchandise. And all of a sudden, you sort of see people wearing our T-shirts and jerseys, and got car stickers driving across the city and things like that. And it's just lovely to kind of be able to give back, and they actually buy into what we're about, and they appreciate it. So, no, absolutely, we definitely see the sport and the Steelkings particularly kind of on the up, and it's just great to kind of build that community.
So, plans for next year then? Obviously win again, clearly, but what ultimately, in terms of growth on all fronts, would be the plan for next year?
Well, now at the end of the season, we'll naturally sort of see some players drop away. We'll end up, finding new players, new stars. So effectively, we start again. We do it all again. We kind of train up brand new people who've never even sat in a sledge before, never seen an ice hockey game, all the way through to kind of trying to really hone the skills of our best players to make them even better, so that they can kind of keep that momentum and going, and so we can kind of like be competitive against these other teams. But our big goal is that we are sort of really trying to kind of set up a junior team here in Sheffield, and we've kind of taken our first small baby steps into kind of trying to introduce the sport to kind of younger people now, and a little bit of a success there as well. And we're trying to push that more and more, and going forward, that's going to be one of our big projects, trying to kind of get the youth sort of side of the game going in this country, because there isn't really anything there. But we'll keep doing what we're doing, bigger and better and stronger, and the Steelkings way, effectively.
Yeah, onwards and upwards. Brilliant, Jake. Many congratulations to you and the rest of the Steelkings. We'd love to track your progress, so we'll keep in touch.
Sounds great. Take care.
Brilliant. So that's the player coach from the Sheffield Steelkings, the 2023 Para Ice Hockey Playoff champions, no less. And also, as you perhaps heard at the back end of the interview, looking to try and develop the various different age ranks too as well. So if that's something that you'd like to get involved in, if it's an amalgamation of ice hockey and all of that, then goodness me, it sounds exciting. And you will be joining a successful franchise. So keep your calls, texts, tweets and emails coming to